Hey y'all, it's Katie. Welcome back to From My Vanity and welcome to a video I honestly didn't plan to film until I started filming. Let me just explain. I was sitting down to do my monthly makeup review for March and I wanted to start on lashes because I have so much to talk about, and I looked down and realized I had been talking about magnetic lashes for over 30 minutes and I was like, you know, Katie, you need to make this its own video. So that is what we're going to do today. I am recording the intro after the whole video. I never do that, but I'm doing it for this video because I need to break it apart from my monthly makeup review series and give it its own video because I have so much to talk to you guys about when it comes to magnetic liner and magnetic lashes. So yeah, with all that said, I figured we need to make this its own video. So let's just jump right in and talk about all the pros and all the cons to magnetic lashes and magnetic liner. Okay, so first off, let's get into the liner because I never actually have had success using magnetic lashes in the two-step kind of sandwiching your lashes in between. It never worked for me for a couple different reasons, so I gave up on those, but I do believe in and have had a lot of success in magnetic liner, and I have two different types here to talk about. So let's just go ahead and jump into the first one, being the Moxie Lash magnetic eyeliner in gel pop form. This for me was another fail, not so much for the quality of the product and it being a magnetic liner, because it is a magnetic liner and it does work well, but they have come out with something better, which we'll talk about next, that just makes this a huge hassle and just not worth my time, honestly. This does work, but something I noticed is you have to make sure you go in with a very thick layer, and this stuff is just so chunky and hard to evenly distribute on your lashes without it kind of balling up or getting sheer spots. I just found it very difficult to take a brush and apply this to my lashes, and when they have something better like a liquid liner, I just don't see the point of this. And so I just found that I think I used it 3 times to apply my magnetic, or put magnetic liner on my lash line, and I just found that this was the most difficult way to apply magnetic liner. It can work, so if you do have this, like, you can get it to work, but I just feel like this liquid liner is so much easier that this was just a pain. You have to make sure you apply a very thick layer to make sure the magnet is strong enough to hold on the lash. That I feel like the majority of the time with this, I would apply a nice even layer and I would go stick on my lash, and either the inner corner would want to pop up or the outer corner just wouldn't really want to magnet down because there wasn't enough magnetic liner. So that's just something with this. You really have to make sure you apply a very thick liner, and it's just not easy to apply. That this just wasn't that fun to work with for me personally. I'd never enjoyed it whenever I had to reach for this, just because I knew it was going to take me 10 times longer to line my eyes than it typically would. So for me, this little gel pot liner of the Moxie Lash magnetic eyeliner was a fail. So then the other way to apply a magnetic liquid liner is with the Moxie Lash liquid magnetic liner. Now they sent this to me as PR with all the Moxie Lash stuff. This is a fantastic way to get magnetic liquid liner on your eyes. So much better and more efficient than this. You, like I said, to really get your magnetic lashes to stay on and last all day, you need a good thick layer for it to adhere to, or it just won't be strong enough for the magnet to stay down on your lash line, or there won't be enough for it actually to hook onto, if that makes sense. So this makes it so easy to make sure you get a nice thick line. Now this type of liquid liner is extremely thick. It's not like the typical black liquid liner. It looks like a very thick type of charcoal looking stuff. It's very interesting and it is extremely thick. So when you do paint it on, you do have to take a little bit of time and concentrate to make sure you're getting an even layer, make sure you're not missing any patches or whatnot, but for the most part it's very easy to apply. It just takes a couple extra seconds to kind of pay attention and make sure you're getting a nice even layer. You're not, leaving any spot, especially around where the magnet grabs, you're not leaving any of those spots bare. One thing to note with this is you have to make sure that after you apply this, you take it off your lashes. You know how sometimes you can get liquid liner in your eyelashes, and typically that's not a huge deal because you cover it with mascara, but for this, sometimes I would get a little too much of my lash and I would go to put down my magnetic lashes and it would want to stick to my eyelashes, which was super annoying. So a little tip to throw out there, make sure you kind of wipe off your lashes before letting it dry completely. That moves on to the next thing about this. You have to make sure it is completely dry. And typically what I do, you guys know I do my eye makeup first before I move on and do my face makeup. So I'll do my eye makeup, I'll line this, and then I'll complete my entire face, do my lipstick, wait to the last possible second. And I'm talking at least 10 minutes of letting this liner sit on my lashes and dry completely, just to make sure they are super dry, because this stuff takes a long time to dry. And that's another thing to know. If you have hooded eyes, you're gonna have to keep your eyes down or closed, because if you look up and this isn't completely dry, dry, you will get it transferring everywhere. It's extremely thick, like I said, so it takes longer to dry, and you have to let it dry completely before you look around or let it touch anything because it comes off so easily. Once it is dry though, it is so easy to pop on your lashes and go throughout the day. This just makes it so very easy and effortless, and I am a huge fan of this. I have had a great experience with it. Now, I don't actually use this for winging out my liner. What I would typically do is I would just use this to line my eyes and then use a regular liquid liner to wing it out and finish it all up, because you really only need this on your lash line where your lashes are going. One thing to note about this is it does look a bit different. It's more of a muted, matted, kind of really dark gray black. Like, it's still black, but it's got a different look to it than at least the typical liquid liners that I was using. So when I would just line my eyes and then do a different, you know, type of liquid liner for my wing, I can see a difference. It's nothing that you, like anyone talking to you would notice, be like, whoa, you know, your liner is 2 different colors. But it's something you know, when you're putting it on, you're really up close, or for me at least, when I'm looking up close, I can tell that what I use to line my eyes and what I wing out my liner with are 2 different colors. One other thing that I noticed with this is that if I wore this too many days in a row, I feel like it made my lash line a little sensitive. Now, it was nothing painful, it was nothing crazy, no reaction, no swelling or anything like that, but I definitely think that having magnetic, I don't know if it's the magnet sitting on my eyes for that long, or on my lash line I should say, for that long, or something in here that's sitting on my eyes all day long, but I feel like after, let's say 3-4 days, definitely by the 5th day mark when I was wearing this, I just felt like my lash line felt a little bit more raw and tender than it usually does. So I don't think this is something that can replace false lashes if you like wear false lashes every day. For me personally, I feel like if I tried to wear magnetic lashes every single day, day in and day out, and it just became my regular, I wouldn't enjoy that after a while, because I feel like my lash line would suffer a little bit and get a little agitated just from that constant. I don't know if it's the pressure of having magnets on your eyes or something in here that is a little agitating or what, but just something I really wanted to throw out there. If you're someone considering this, I feel like a lot of people who review or show magnetic lashes only show like how they look. They don't really review how it is to wear them all day or day in and day out. So this past week I have been wearing them every single day, and that's just something I did notice today when I was doing my makeup. I just felt like my lash line was a little swollen and a little tender. I shouldn't say swollen because that sounds terrible, but it was tender. Okay, so I am currently editing this video, but I figured I would just pause real quick and pop on here to kind of explain a little something that developed after I recorded this. So as I mentioned in the video, I tried to wear these magnetic lashes with the magnetic liner for a solid week just to see what extended wear and consistent wear would do, like if there was any side effects. And at the time of filming that, my eyelids did feel a little raw. Like I felt like there was a little bit of a consequence, but I think it was the following day when I washed off my makeup and I took my lashes off, the corner here, right here, was extremely painful. And I'll go ahead and stick up pictures. I don't know how much you're going to be able to see, but this outer corner felt like it had a bruise / rug burn on it. Like, it felt so raw. It felt very tender. When I did my makeup the following day, I did not put on any false lashes. I just put on a little bit of liquid liner over it. I just kind of went minimal on it because my outer corner hurt so bad. It was so tender and so raw. As I said, here are pictures. I tried my best to get it just so you guys could see what I was talking about, but I don't think it's going to come across that well. Definitely when I touched it, it felt very swollen. So kind of just throwing that out there. I think these magnetic lashes are really nice. I still do stand behind everything I said. They are really nice. I am really curious to try more brands. I'm currently got some from the lash liner system that I'm going to be trying out this month. So I'm going to be, you know, kind of expanding my horizons and trying other things, but I still do like them. Like, I feel like that Moxie liner does a fantastic job, but I think it's definitely something I can't wear every day, and I can't wear consistently like for an entire week, or my eyes are gonna get bad. And throwing out there too that this is just me and my experience. If you're someone who doesn't have super sensitive eyes, maybe you wouldn't have any problem wearing them day in and day out for months on end. This is just me and my experience. I feel like I don't have the most sensitive eyes, but they are on the sensitive side, if that makes sense at all. So anyway, I just want to throw that out there. Definitely something else to consider if you are wanting to invest, because it is expensive. They are expensive, the magnetic liner and the magnetic lashes. So I just kind of want to throw it out there for you guys to kind of have the whole story, all the information that I can supply to you basically. So anyway, I just want to throw that in there really quick. Gideon's awake, so I gotta run. But overall, I really do like this. And even though I don't think magnetic lashes are ever going to be anything I can wear day in and day out, I don't really care to. You guys know me and false lashes. I'm not someone who wears wears them every day. But even though I won't wear this day in and day out, this is something that I will go to if I want to wear false lashes out of my house to an event or something, or a date night with my husband. I know I mentioned on here before, but I've only ever worn false lashes, like the typical glue-on, out of my house 2 times, and both times were when I was going out for like less than an hour right after I put them on, so I knew they were going to stay in place. And the reason is that I feel like long term the inner corner pops up, and I absolutely hate that. I think it just looks so bad, and if I'm out and about, I don't want it to look bad. And then when you take your lashes off, you know, the glue pulls off your liner, so then you just look weird, and it's just a hot mess. So I've never been someone who likes to wear my false lashes out, but with this I can. And there's been several times over the past month that I have gone out and worn these magnetic lashes for a whole day, no problems. I don't have to worry about them popping up in the inner corner. They're so comfortable on, and I don't have to worry about them when I'm gone from the house, and I love that. So for me personally, I don't know how much this is going to retail for or what the cost is, but I feel like a magnetic liquid liner is going to be a staple for me in my makeup collection, because it's something that will allow me to wear false lashes out and about in my real life when I want to kind of glam it up and do something a little extra on my eyes. So I was just really impressed with this. If you want to try magnetic lashes and you don't want to worry about the like connecting the two like these and whatnot, this is definitely fantastic. I will say though that I'm trying out a different brand. I think it's Lash Liner System, that I think at least they're saying that they were the first one to come up with liquid magnetic liner. I know it's kind of been all over the place because Tati reviewed it on their channel, so I had actually already placed an order with them. They're on back order. I don't know when it's coming in, but I will be trying that out whenever it comes in, and I am going to do a video side by side comparing these two just to give you guys all the information and let you know which liquid liner is the best, because I definitely think if you're wanting to try magnetic lashes with magnetic liner, the liquid variety is the one to go with, because this is just a pain in the butt. So that's enough on that. Let's move on. So moving on to the Moxie lashes, they have 3 different styles that they sent me. They have flashy lashes, they have classy lashes, and they have sassy lashes. The only one that I like to wear was the sassy lashes, and I actually don't even have them in here. They're downstairs, sorry. But the classy lashes were just like non-existent basically. They look like I didn't have anything on. And then the flashy lashes, while I think they are really pretty and, you know, vavoom, they're too long for my eyes. My eyes are very small, and because this has magnets on it, you can't really trim it, so that's definitely something to keep in mind, and makes trying magnetic lashes a little tricky, especially if you're ordering from a brand like this that's only online. I do like these because since they are made from Moxie, they're meant to just be worn alone, like without anything underneath, whereas a lot of the other lashes that I've tried, the magnetic lashes, they're meant to have 2 to give it more oomph. So like the lashes I have today are the Kiss Magnetic 07s. I just feel like they're a little understated. They're not as vavavoom. Like they definitely give me a little bit of definition and whatnot, but I just feel like since Moxie is meant to be worn alone, you know, just these on top of your lashes, they definitely, you know, bring a lot more than other brands that are meant to have 2. I hope that's making sense. But I'm not a fan of Moxie's lashes for the quality aspect of this. And like, for example, these flashy lashes, or yeah, they're flashy lashes. Well, I think they're really pretty. If you actually look at them, they have a lot of lashes like curling in on itself, going either way. And I've had to actually cut off some that were just kind of like going this way, going that way. It's just a little odd the way that their lashes go, and I don't really have much experience with other brands doing that. Usually all the lashes, you know, go in the same way. They're not cut the exact same, but you know what I mean. They're all in harmony, whereas this, I just feel like there were so many that were just kind of like, you know, here's lashes and bang, and it's just like, where was that one going? So it's kind of like that sort of thing. And another thing with their lashes is that the magnets fall off really easily. Like they're nice magnets, they're good, they're strong, but they're not glued onto the lash band very well. And so with my classy or sassy lashes, I had to actually glue the magnet back on because I went to pull it off from in here. And this is nice. This is nice because they do put magnets, so it's very easy to like place them back on and not lose them. But I went to pull it off one day and it just pulled the magnet right off, and I was like, oh. So I just feel like the quality of these aren't the best, especially considering the price. So anyway, there was just a couple cons with this that kind of keep me from like fully recommending these. Now, if you want something intense and dramatic, these are really the only ones that I found to go with if you're really wanting that false lash look. But I just don't know how long they'll last quality wise, and it was kind of annoying having to take little scissors and just trim so many lashes to make them look normal and not like they have these weird little, you know, antennas going everywhere. That was just very odd. So just something to know. Also for upkeep with these lashes, with any kind of magnetic lashes, I forgot to mention it earlier with the liner, you have to make sure you clean them off, because sometimes randomly, I don't really understand why. I think it has to do with the strength of the magnet and then how long you wear it. But sometimes when you go to pull off your lashes, you will take a chunk of the liner with it, and then it's now on the lash. So if you try to just take that lash and the next day and pop it onto your magnetic liner, it's not going to stick as well because it's coated in magnetic liner that's kind of making it weaker. I hope that makes sense. So it's a little difficult, but you have to be like really careful and try to clean each of these little magnets, which can be a little tricky. And like I said, you can accidentally like rip off one of the magnets. At least I accidentally did. But I find that the easiest way is to kind of scrape at it with my nail, and you take a little bit of like eye makeup remover, let it soak in there, and then just scrape it off with my nail. So that's something to note, to throw out there. If you have magnetic lashes and they're not working so well after a couple tries, make sure you're cleaning off the magnets. One thing to note about the Moxie lashes, and that really kind of made it a fail, you know, I already talked about the quality being okay, but the thing that really made this land in the fail category for me, these lashes specifically, not the liner, the lashes, is that once the 5 to 6 hour mark hit, I really started to feel them, and they started bothering my eyes a lot. And then if I tried to just kind of grin it out and bear it, like it wasn't anything painful, like I'm like crying because of the pain or anything like that, but it was definitely like, ugh, my eyes are just bothering me. They are feeling a little raw. And if I just try to continue wearing it, one day I wore it, I think 8 hours is how far I got to. When I pulled them off, I don't know if it was because I had them on so long that the magnet stuck to the liner so well, but it pulled the liner off, and I literally thought it was pulling a layer of my skin off. It was so painful to remove. And that's the only reason I can think as to why it does that. Now, it doesn't do it every time when I wear these Moxie lashes, but it's every time if I wear them past the 5-ish hour mark. So something to keep in mind, especially if you're very sensitive to pain or just sensitive around your eye area. I don't know if this would work for you. This has 5 magnets, but I think there's only 4 on the Sassy lashes. But oh my goodness, I couldn't believe how painful taking off those 4 tiny little magnets could be. I was just like wincing because it just felt like it was removing a layer of my skin. And like I said, it was a little intense. It was very short-lived. It wasn't anything crazy that I was like bleeding. And even after taking them off, I would look in the mirror to see if I like drew blood or something. I never saw anything like that. I never noticed that my lash line looked like it lost a layer of skin, but it felt like it for those brief moments when I was taking it off. So something also to note, and that's another big reason why this lands in the fail category for me, because it hurts if you wear it too long. So that's kind of a big thing to me, and kind of why I've been looking at other magnetic lashes to try to see if there's something better that will work for my needs and, you know, my eyes and not hurt them so much. So I don't mean to come across as totally negative. I do think these lashes are very nice, but those 2 cons, the quality of it and then just taking them off if I wear them too long, really just made it a fail for me, and just something I really want to put out there in my review, because I feel like when it comes to magnetic lashes, there's not a whole lot of information or a whole lot of reviews out there. So in me sharing my reviews, I want to try to be very thorough and let you guys know the entire experience that I had with them. So that was a bit of a bummer for me. I was really hoping to love these lashes, but they were just a kind of a fail for me. Okay, so last up for the magnetic lashes that we're going to talk about today, I have the Kiss Magnetic Lashes in 07 and 02. Now, I did not try either of these in the manner that they're supposed to be, like this under part helping to connect the two. I specifically just used these 2 with the Moxie liquid liner. So I only used the top half, and that's kind of where I got into a little bit of trouble with this 02, this style, because while it looks really nice, when you actually put it on your eyes, you almost can't see it. I recorded a video recently. It was unboxing the Kinder Beauty Box subscription. I'll link it up here if you want to go see, but I liked how they looked up close, but in that video, I feel like you almost can't tell that I have false lashes on. Like when I look down, you can definitely see that there's a little length on the side, but when I actually look at the camera and I'm talking to them, you can't see much. However, with the 07s, which is what I have on today, I definitely think there's a little bit more there. It gives me just a little bit, it just gives me a little bit more, and I do appreciate that. So I actually really did enjoy these. There's only 3 magnets for each of these lashes. Something with the Moxie lashes is that it had 4 or 5 depending on the size of them. So it's definitely something to note that these just aren't as strong as the Moxie lashes, and the magnet just doesn't feel as strong as the Moxies. But with that said, I've never had any problem with them flying away. It's just a little trickier when you go to apply them. You really have to make sure that each one of the magnets gets down on the lash and sets down, because if you accidentally just put the 2 outside and the middle one's not down, it'll just kind of like flap around on and be all free and looking funky. So I noticed I really had to take care to make sure each of the magnets were placed down and securely put down before I kind of went about my day, or I could look a little funky. But anyway, overall though, I thought the quality of these were really nice. They look really nice on, they last really nice, they clean really well. There were several times I went and cleaned the magnets with, you know, my a little bit of eye makeup remover and my fingernail, and they cleaned off just fine. I never noticed any of the magnets getting loose or wanting to fall off. And these 07s are definitely, I feel like, ones that look like I'm wearing false lashes. So these were definitely the win when it came to this style of magnetic lashes that I enjoyed wearing, because wearing these on my eyes, I could wear them for a solid 8-9 hours and I never felt them on my eyes at all. And I think only once ever when I went to remove them did they actually like pull a chunk of the liner off, and it was a touch painful. Nowhere near as painful as this, but it was just a touch raw, and I don't really know why it did that one time. All the other times, like I said, I will go to pull them off and they don't take anything off. They just pop right off, and then you can pop them right back on. They're really easy, they're very comfortable, and they're so lightweight. Like, I don't feel like I have anything on my lashes right now, but they feel secure at the same time. Like, I never have to worry about like, oh, like, is the inner corner popping up, or, you know, a strong wind just came by. Are they gonna go flying off my face? I never had to worry about that. Anytime that I checked on these, they were securely in place, and I absolutely love that about them. The 07s are definitely my favorite because, like I said, they actually look like I'm wearing false lashes. They give me a lot of definition and whatnot, and they're just so comfortable. I still do like the 02s, but they're definitely more of like more neutral, more just like giving my natural lashes a little bit of help kind of thing. So definitely keep that in mind if you're wanting recommendations for what looks like more like false lash status. Definitely try the 07s and leave the 02s. But overall, I was very happy and impressed with the Kiss magnetic lashes. I thought overall the quality was well. The lashes themselves look really nice. The lash band on these is very thin and tiny, like a typical lash looks like, which I was very happy with, because one thing to note with these Moxie lashes is that the actual lash band is extremely thick, and that just makes it a little more obvious when you have it on your eyes. So when I would wear these on my eyes, especially when we're getting to the inner corner, I feel like it was more obvious on camera, especially, you know, and just like talking to people, I'm sure, but it just was more obvious that I had false lashes on. Whereas these, if you put them on correctly and make sure they were really close on that magnetic liner, you really couldn't see. I was very impressed with, you know, recording and editing myself, or just, you know, catching myself in the mirror. You can't, it almost doesn't look like I have false lashes. So I was very impressed with that. I was very thankful that the lash band was small, because I just prefer smaller lash bands. They're easier to apply, they look natural, all that jazz. But overall, yes, if you want to know my #1 recommendation when it comes to what type of false lashes to get, these Kiss magnetic lashes by far totally outshone in both quality, comfortability, and just practicality of wearing them and upkeeping them than the Moxie lashes. So if you want my recommendations, it would definitely be these. I do want to try the Ardell ones. I haven't tried them yet. I'll also be able to try that liner lash system brand that has the liquid liner as well. So there's definitely going to be a continuation to this story, another video down the road, but I did want to go ahead and sit down and give you guys kind of my full in-depth review of all the products I have tried while they're fresh in my memory, and while I feel like it's kind of going around ever since Tati came out with that video. People are a little more interested in the magnetic liquid liner. So I thought this might be helpful if you are looking into magnetic liquid liner, because there's one thing for sure when it comes to magnetic lashes and magnetic liner, is that it is not cheap. So it's definitely an investment, and I hope this helps you kind of figure out where to spend your money, because you can definitely spend a lot of money trying to figure out which one works for you, which lash to get, which liner will work for you and whatnot. So we shall see. Hopefully I will have another video in a month or so giving you guys my final roundup. I'll touch on these products again, but I'll be able to review the liner lash system, and then also the Ardell lashes and the liner lash system lashes, and be able to kind of give you a full in-depth review on which products I recommend, which products I don't, which ones I think you should skip, which ones I think is worth investing your money in. So yeah, I think that's going to do it for this video. I didn't really plan on doing a dedicated video on magnetic lashes and liner, but when I was sitting down to do my monthly makeup review, I just realized that there was too much to go through, and I had too much to say about these magnetic lashes to combine it all in a video. So I'm just going to do this, give it a dedicated video, and I hope you guys find it helpful. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. Have you tried a magnetic liner? Have you tried magnetic lashes? Have you tried the traditional like two-step trying to sandwich a magnetic liner, I'd love to hear your experience. I could never get that to work. I guess I didn't really share, but I could never get that to work because whenever I actually did get them to stay, they would start to slide down my lashes throughout the day, and that just looked weird. So that was always my issue. I was able to connect them and get them looking nice at the beginning of the day, but give it 2-3 hours and they were sliding down my lashes. So yeah, let me know your experience when it comes to magnetic lashes. I would love to hear if you have any other recommendations, if you have any other brands of magnetic lashes or magnetic liner that you want me to check out. Definitely let me know down below. I found the Liner Lash System brand because someone commented on my Instagram. They linked to the brand's Instagram page, and so I checked them out, and that's how I found them. So let me know any of your other recommendations, any other brands I should check out, and any way I can make my next video on magnetic lashes a little more helpful. But with all that said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon in my next video. Bye guys.